Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're looking for a powerful and deeply moving story that sheds light on a crucial, yet often overlooked aspect of history, then you've come to the right place. Before we dive into today's incredibly impactful book, make sure to hit that like button. If you appreciate historical fiction that brings untold stories to the forefront, drop a comment below sharing your thoughts on the importance of recognizing the contributions of women in wartime, and subscribe so you never miss our explorations of meaningful and unforgettable reads. Your support helps us amplify important narratives. Today, we're going to delve into Kristin Hannah's compelling novel, The Women. This isn't just a story about the Vietnam War. It's a story about the courageous women who served, the sacrifices they made, and the often difficult journey they faced upon returning home to a nation that wasn't always ready to acknowledge their contributions. Hannah masterfully crafts a narrative that is both heartbreaking and ultimately hopeful, giving voice to the experiences of these unsung heroes. Get ready for a summary that captures the emotional depth and historical significance of this remarkable book. So, settle in as we unpack the key ideas and the powerful journey of the women in Kristin Hannah's The Women. The Women introduces us to Frankie McGrath, a privileged and somewhat naive young woman living a comfortable life in Southern California in 1965. Initially, Frankie's understanding of the Vietnam War is largely shaped by the patriotic fervor of the time and the romanticized ideals of heroism. However, when her brother, Finley, is deployed to Vietnam, Frankie's perspective begins to shift. Fueled by a desire to support her brother and a growing sense of purpose, Frankie makes a life-altering decision. Inspired by the nurses she sees on television and driven by a fierce loyalty to her brother, Frankie impulsively decides to enlist as an army nurse. Her family, particularly her conservative parents, are shocked and disapproving. Despite their objections, Frankie is determined to go, believing she can make a difference and be closer to Finley. Her arrival in Vietnam is a stark awakening. The realities of war, the constant threat of danger, the overwhelming number of casualties, and the sheer brutality of it all shatter her preconceived notions. Frankie is thrust into a world of unimaginable trauma, where she must quickly learn to cope with the horrors of war and the immense responsibility of caring for wounded soldiers. Frankie's time in Vietnam is a transformative experience. Working tirelessly in understaffed and often dangerous field hospitals, she witnesses firsthand the devastating impact of the war on young American soldiers. She faces unimaginable challenges, from treating horrific injuries to dealing with the emotional toll of constant loss. It is in this crucible of war that Frankie truly comes into her own, discovering a strength and resilience she never knew she possessed. Crucially, it is also in Vietnam that Frankie forges deep and unbreakable bonds with other nurses, women like Barb and Ethel, who become her lifeline in the face of unimaginable hardship. These friendships form the emotional backbone of the novel. When Frankie and other women like her return home, they face a stark and often painful reality. Unlike their male counterparts, their service is often dismissed or ignored. Many Americans, weary of the war, are eager to forget the conflict and are often hostile towards those who served. The women are left feeling invisible, their sacrifices unacknowledged, and their experiences invalidated. Frankie, who returned home with both physical and emotional scars, struggles to reconcile the horrors she witnessed with the indifference she encounters in her own country. The Women powerfully explores the theme of invisible wounds. While Frankie's physical injuries heal, the emotional and psychological toll of her wartime experiences lingers. She, like many other women who served, suffers from what would later be recognized as PTSD. She experiences flashbacks, nightmares, and a deep sense of disconnect from those who didn't share her experiences. Hannah poignantly portrays the struggles of these women who carried the weight of war within them, often in silence, as society offered little understanding or support. Amidst the challenges of returning home, the friendship and sisterhood Frankie forged in Vietnam become even more vital. Barb and Ethel remain steadfast in their support, providing a safe space for Frankie to share her experiences and process her trauma. These bonds between the women who served together highlight the unique understanding and empathy they shared, a connection that those who hadn't been there could never fully grasp. Their unwavering support for one another becomes a source of strength and resilience in a world that often seems determined to forget their service. Frankie's struggle to reintegrate into civilian life is a central part of the novel. She finds it difficult to connect with people who can't comprehend what she went through, and she grapples with feelings of isolation and alienation. The societal indifference and sometimes even hostility she faces further compound her difficulties. Hannah realistically portrays the challenges faced by many Vietnam veterans, particularly women, who often felt like they didn't fit in and were left to navigate their trauma alone. Over time, Frankie begins a journey towards healing and eventually finds purpose in advocating for other women veterans. She realizes that she is not alone in her experiences and that there is a community of women who understand what she went through. By sharing her story and fighting for recognition and support for her fellow nurses and other women who served in Vietnam, Frankie begins to heal her own wounds and find meaning in her experiences. Her journey becomes a testament to the power of connection and the importance of giving voice to those whose stories have been silenced. The title, The Women, is incredibly significant. It serves as a powerful reminder of the often invisible contributions and sacrifices made by women during the Vietnam War. The book shines a light on their experiences, their bravery, and the challenges they faced both during and after their service. By focusing on Frankie's story and her connections with other women, Hannah ensures that their voices are finally heard and their contributions are acknowledged. Kristin Hannah is a masterful storyteller, and in The Women, she brings this important historical period to life with vivid detail and emotional depth. She seamlessly weaves together Frankie's personal journey with the broader historical context of the Vietnam War and the social climate in the United States at the time. Hannah's meticulous research and her ability to create relatable and compelling characters make The Women not only an engaging read, but also an important contribution to the historical narrative of the Vietnam War. Kristin Hannah's The Women is a powerful and unforgettable novel that honors the courage and sacrifices of the women who served in the Vietnam War. Through Frankie McGrath's compelling journey, Hannah sheds light on a crucial aspect of history that has often been overlooked, reminding us of the enduring impact of war and the importance of recognizing the contributions of all who serve. This is a story of resilience, friendship, and the long road to healing, and it's a book that will stay with you long after you've finished reading. What were your key takeaways from Frankie's story and the experiences of the women in this novel? Did this book change your perspective on the Vietnam War? Share your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. We'd love to hear your insights. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the women and appreciate historical fiction that brings important stories to light, please give this video a thumbs up. Share it with fellow readers who are interested in learning more about the experiences of women in wartime. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more engaging book summaries and discussions. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.